Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm hopping back in to the Blitz pool on leechess.org, going up against Ebu Huridra, who does not want to play with me. So let's get back into the pool and see if there's anybody else. There's 103,000 fish in the sea. Let's see if anybody else out there is looking to play a game of chess. And hopefully we get something fun, something exciting, maybe something instructional, who knows? But there's too many people. Let me in the pool. I want to play. I don't understand. Miss Underestimated One. We have for sure 100% played an Elephant Gambit very recently, possibly even today. How do I like to do this? Yeah. Okay, I got this one. I've been saving it for you. Oh, you like this line. Oh, no. You're not going to fall for the only trap that I know? Okay, then I guess I'll have to make up the rest of this stuff on the fly. Well, this is a increasingly popular way of declining the Elephant Gambit, or maybe it just feels that way because I think I played this person earlier today, and we had, I think, this same exact line. Bishop b5? Okay, so I'm threatening now to take this. I'm down a pawn, but I have developed, you know, like all of my pieces and whatever you're supposed to do. Let me take here. I understand that I have to calculate both of these lines. Let's test it out. I figure I'm ahead in development for the pawn. I figure I can gambit a pawn here. Let me take back this way. I think they're just going to castle. Oh, this makes sense too. But let's, you know, at least make them know about this move. It's interesting. Do you think he's ever actually going to... He's going to castle queenside. So I should begin... Let's begin operations on the queenside. We know that that's where he's headed. He's not going to... Without a light squared bishop, we know he's not headed this direction. So let's start just putting the fear of God on him on the queenside. Maybe rook b8 and we'll just press on through. And we got to kind of just make up and find some sort of compensation here because this is a line that I'm not 100%... prepared for. Also, I need to get my mouse into the proper location. It's not a good time for having a bad mouse here. Interesting. I mean, he's definitely 100% never castling on the king side. I'm pretty sure about that. And I have here, but maybe... Do I save this idea? Will there be a better time? Let's do this, and then maybe I can play here, and then eventually win this pawn back, and it might be time now. Having kind of prevented them from castling either way, I think it might be time to start trying to break through on the other side of the board. Meaning the middle. Sorry. It's a little bit late in the evening. A little bit late. I think most people would say it's not late, but I'm just not most people. For me, 2 or 3 in the afternoon is late, okay? So now I think I'm ready to play here. Some sort of take, so I'm going to try to come in. Trading a bishop or not. And it feels like I just have a really strong strangle on the position. So if here I'm going to take with a bishop, and if not, I'm going to sneak in. And then checkmate him. Wait, that ended abruptly? That's not, I didn't expect that to end like this. But this is a very common way now that people seem to be declining the Elephant Gambit in this position. They're bringing this knight out to c3. And the only trick that I know here is that there's this interesting line with bishop to d6. And this is what I was hoping for. Because the main move here is bishop to c4. Or that is to say, the most common move that people can play in this position is bishop to c4, at least if you're using the Lichess database. And then you castle. You're still ahead in development. After they castle here, you can play pawn to e4. And then the most played move by far, 52% of the time, is knight to d4, which loses on the spot. And you can see it right here. This is a Greek gift that just simply wins for black. After they come here, you bring your knight into g4, and this is just going to be a win. You bring the queen in, no matter what they do, there's a winning attack here for black. So that's all I really knew. However, My opponent didn't play bishop to c4, so after bishop to d6, they played d4, and now it's about time that I start to learn about this one. And I'm also making just a mental note to myself. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that even within this sub-variation of this less common way of declining the elephant, there's just so many different ways that opponents could handle it. So I'm going to need to come back and take a look at probably all of these. That's what this game is going to inspire me to do for future videos. But today, let's just learn about this very particular d4 variation. So now I'm going to be playing with e4. That move seems to be correct. Knight e5 is a pretty expected move. I played the top engine move, second most common human move, knight b to d7. And here they played bishop to b5, which was a little bit of a surprise to me, but maybe it's all right. I got castled. They took with a bishop. This is also a little bit surprising because now they don't have a light squared bishop. After takes. It's actually kind of incredible. Computer says that I actually have an advantage here, so I'm still down a pawn, but I have the two bishops, and as we kind of learned, it's very dangerous because if you're ever castling kingside, which is the most popular move, just something like f5, and in the future I'm going to be going here trying to farm for some other weaknesses on the king side, and because of that it looks like f3 and f4 are like the two main moves that you have to start breaking down this structure, otherwise it could get very dangerous for white. Instead my opponent played bishop to e3, and I guess I should actually back up to and just discuss what was going to happen if they did decide to take a pawn, so I can get ahead of the comment that says, hey, what happens if they just take the pawn? You play rook to e8 and they're in a pin, and even if they defend this somehow with the queen, with the pawn, whatever, you're going to have f5 winning the knight. So instead my opponent decided to go here, and this is where I'm starting to think, okay, I think they're going to be going on the queen side. I start with f5. This is a very strong structure. I'm getting ready to push through with f4, so my opponent plays g3. And now I'm very sure they're never going to castle here, because I'd have some line with here and bringing this bishop in, and the queen also would be able to come in very quickly. It'll just simply be too dangerous. And that's why I played b5, thinking to myself, okay, if I were my opponent, probably I'd be trying to put the queen somewhere, getting castled on the queen side. So I decided to chuck everything over here, which seems to be working out just fine. Played b4, broke through over here. And now basically the opponent can't castle either way. And it's time to start opening up the center. Bishop to b5, bringing the queen in. We actually played reasonably well. A little bit more accuracy was possible here with rook to a8. But, I'm fine with this, just breaking through here, and then instead of castling queenside and accepting, whatever might be possible, my opponent simply hung a mate in one. And if you don't want to hang mates in one, you can subscribe to the channel, or you could just do it because it's very nice. Thank you guys. See you later.